r/Nosleep. Posted by u/archives-h. I work with a team that investigates haunted places. We must follow a strange rule to survive. Part 3. My name's Kyron Gray, and I've signed to the team's account to put in my side of the story. Keystorm Kyron. Kyron. I awoke with a yawn, hearing my name in the distance. I looked to see that Rainie light was across me. I scanned the room, finding everyone missing. I asked. What is it? I thought I should wake you up, Rainie explained. Where is everyone? Oh, they're off investigating. They didn't want to bother you. Huh, cool. Where's breakfast? Right, Rainie began. I was about to get some. Paris said I could take her car and drive off. Bagels. I murmured. I need to get out of this house. It's so dark, I guess. Mind if I join you? Sure. Rainie exclaimed. I went to the nearby bathroom, tidied myself up, took a drink of what Azalea had called diamond-filtered holy water, and then took my backpack, and met Rainie outside the house. I noted that from outside, the house looked like a towering guard, or some sort of cage, trapping people, or its victims, inside. That's when I noticed something else, something in the woods behind the property. I'd been told that the property gate surrounded a large part of the woods behind it, but I wasn't sure how much it did. But whatever I glimpsed, it seemed to be far off in the woods. Rainie, I began, you got any binoculars? Yeah, sure do. Rainie bubbled. I use them for bird watching a lot. Why? Can I have them for a moment? Sure. Rainie dug around in her backpack, and soon produced a high-quality binocular. I took them, thanked her, then looked through them, searching for what I'd seen. Then I saw it something odd in the distance. Some sort of small structure that oddly reminded me of a shrine. Yes, that was it, some sort of shrine. It was red, and covered by octagons, decagons, and other such end-gon shapes. There were strange symbols all over it, ones I did not recognize. Rainie, come look at this, I murmured, handing her the binoculars. Okay. She did, and she looked amazed. Do you know what they are? I asked. Nope, not a clue, she replied. She then took out a phone and snapped a photo. Let's get food for the team first. You wanna drive? Sure. I got in the car, and Rainie took the seat next to me, and I began to drive the way back to town. So, Rainie began, as I watched the trees pass by me in the early morning. Rain. No sun here. It was all quite gloomy, but at least the current weather didn't sound like the heavens were ready to destroy the world. Which of course, was the rain the day prior. Kyron, did you have any strange dreams yesterday? No, why? I replied. You had a weird dream? Yes, in fact I did, Rainie informed. Well, looks like the rain is getting worse, I murmured. Might take us a while. Why don't you tell me your dream? Well, it was about the house, Rainie explained. I feel like I've been to this house before in some other world, some other me, like I wasn't supposed to be the house before, but now, I'm supposed to be in the house. Really? I don't feel anything like that. Yeah, it's really the strangest thing, murmured Rainie. Ever since I've stepped into the house, I've been getting this weird déjà vu sensation. It's as if I know I've been in there before, but my mind erased the memory, but not all of it. I keep having these flashes of images where I was with a team, and we'd investigated the house. There was a man in a suit and a fedora, and I swear that my team leader's name was Cassie White. The dream? Well, it was, at first, these flashes of me being with the other me's team, the one I can't seem to remember. And then, after that I had this weird vision, I guess of a man in a dark suit and a fedora leaving a coffin, and then I saw the man on an expedition, and then I saw him in this weird, underground temple. Was the temple, I began, shaped like a pyramid? Yes. How did you know that? Never mind, I've just seen a similar man in a temple that shape in a previous mission actually, that's what got me on this team, but please, continue. Right, Rainie began, remember that building thing? I'm sure it's a shrine. It was in my dream too, and we saw the back of the shrine. The shrine faces a lake that we can't see, but in the dream, I saw the lake filled with water, except the water was black. Just full on, solid black. We'll need to check on that shrine. Anyways, I knew it was a shrine because the outside has this. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw an altar, and there were these black tulips all over it, and in the center, I saw this straw doll of a woman. After that, I just sensed something behind me, and then I saw this woman that looked like the straw doll rise out of the black water and start floating straight up into the sky. Creepy. Her eyes were closed at first, but then, she opened them, and I only saw the same blackness as the water when she opened them. I saw that she had no mouth, but just smooth skin. But then I saw these lines appear all over where her mouth should be, and I saw the lines connected together to form this mouth. Did she speak? I asked. Yeah, but her mouth didn't exactly line up with what the sounds were, Rainie explained. It was like the noises were always half a second too late, like the mouth was only there for show. But I couldn't make out any words I knew. It was all just gibberish to me, like someone mumbling deep underwater. What happened next? I asked. Surely something did? I don't know, but the next thing I knew, I blinked, and the weird lady from the lake was gone. I looked back, and I saw that the doll was different. It had moved, I think, but only by a little. An inch to the left, I believe. After that, I entered the shrine, and I saw this, well, skull in the middle of it. The skull was made out of this weird crystal gold hybrid, but after that, I heard this horrible shrinking sound, like cats screaming, and then, I woke up. Odd indeed. I think I've heard of this lady in the lake here before, I told. Tiffany sent everyone history packets, and I read them. There's a local legend that a woman supposedly serving a demon was burned at the stake, but when she didn't burn, she was thrown into the lake where she had conducted her evil activities. A witch? Rainie questioned. Indeed. Legend says that when she was cast into the lake, the townspeople could hear the screams of 1,000 cats, and then, when she finally drowned, the water turned black and poisonous. The body of this supposed woman was never found. But see, the only problem is, Tiffany commented that there isn't a lake on the property, so I'm not sure how this all connects. Huh, that's odd. Agreed. By then, we'd reached the town, and I soon parked the car near a small bakery, which connected into a mall, and soon, the two of us were out of the car, each with our own umbrellas, protecting us from the rain. Still, the storm seemed to worsen, and the wind was sending the rain into our faces. I heard Rainie swear and a gust of wind sent rain all over her glasses, and the two of us hurried into the shop. Hey, you two! A tall man yelled. You two best stay inside the shop. Why? Rainie inquired. Thunderstorm's getting worse. He growled. I hear it'll be hailing soon. As if to prove his point, a huge chunk of ice crashed into the ground outside, sending ice everywhere on the street. Ah, good point. Anyway, since we'll be staying here a while, I began, can we get some bagels, donuts, anything? We're hungry. Sure I can. I'll get you to our bakery special, if you don't mind. We don't mind, Rainie confirmed. I didn't mind either, I just wanted a nice hot meal. And soon, a plate of bread, soup, and something I didn't quite recognize was served at our booth. While we ate, I took the chance to read more about the lady in the lake, part of Tiffany's history packet, and I found more of it enlightening. According to local folklore, the straw doll was given to one Marie Childress as a child, when she and her family lived in the South. Tiffany couldn't exactly place a time for the story, but it was probably set before the Civil War. The story told me that the straw doll was given as a toy by a man with an uncanny dark suit and a fedora, who called himself the Merchant of the Night when the Childress family had to flee the home they were in due to financial difficulties, as well as smuggling. And then, according to the lore, Marie Childress was sent away to a European country, to a boarding school. Tiffany connected the boarding school to one in London. There were stories in the boarding school that back in the old days, students spoke of a girl who carried a straw doll. At night, children would often hear soft footsteps, and many heard other noises, like Marie conversing with someone in the night, yet when they confronted her while she talked, they found her sleeping. Another noise was the sound of water dripping, yet the source of the noise was never found. And then, when Marie and the straw doll left the boarding school, the haunting stopped. After that, Marie's mother, Ambrosia Childress, married Carmichael Kryloft, who Tiffany suspected may have built the house. The two, Ambrosia and Carmichael, were usually absent, taking care of distant matters, leaving Marie alone. The still-growing town of Maple Inn reported seeing shadows through the house's windows, and once, they claimed to have seen black water ooze up from the ground outside the house. In the end, more and more rumors surrounded the doll, and Marie as the two grew, and the villagers of Maple Inn eventually put her to death as a witch. After her death, Ambrosia and Carmichael fell ill, and the townspeople claimed they were drinking from their well's water, which had turned black, yet the two didn't seem to notice it. And then, The villagers began to marry, carrying the doll around bodies of water near Mapleton, which would turn dark and murky for weeks at a time. One day, a child playing near a lake discovered what seemed to be a straw doll buried in the mud. It's told that the day after, the child began to behave erratically, and that she began to speak a language nobody recognized. And finally, the legend spoke of a man, the merchant of the night, a man in a dark suit and fedora appearing one day at the town square. He told them he knew how to stop everything that had been going on and instructed the villagers to build a bizarre shrine with shapes with 7 or more sides, and then to build an altar and place the straw doll in the middle. At first, the townspeople did not believe the man, as some of them had heard of a traveling merchant who appeared at night, and where he went, disaster followed. So, the merchant was cast out of the town. But he kept returning, promising he could stop waters turning dark. And one day, when the townspeople found all their water supply dark and poisonous, they gave in to the will of the merchant of the night. He told them once more how to build the shrine and altar. And then, when it was built, the waters turned clear, the sightings stopped, and the man who was the merchant of the night vanished. Or, at least, that's what the story told.